That should do it. Alright everyone, welcome back to the channel. What we have here is a nice wire stripper. Alright, so, been meaning to make this video for quite some time. This is a wire stripper meant to strip various sizes of insulated wire. And there's quite a few videos here on YouTube. This video is not sponsored. Alright, there is no sponsorship associated with this. There's also no affiliated links. If you guys are curious and wish to purchase this wire stripper, I will give you an honest review of this product. Like I said, there's no affiliated links, so what I did when I purchased this myself, I did not get this for free, no one sent me this, as I checked out across eBay, Amazon, and a couple other sites and noticed that there was this one wire stripper available with no name that looked exactly like this. Alright, now the prices do change from site to site. It's the same exact wire stripper, probably mass produced, sold by a bunch of distributors. I paid $150 for this. 3 years ago, this same machine was about $350 to $400. So it seems like it's getting cheaper. So if you guys want to purchase it in a couple years, or you're thinking about purchasing now with copper prices up, go ahead. Like I said, though, it is about $150 right now. I believe I purchased it. I purchased it on eBay. I think Amazon, it was about $190. So I went ahead and purchased it on eBay instead. So yeah, check around, see who has a good feedback, and purchase it if you want to. This is Romex wire, or house wire, a lot of people call it. We'll just run it right through the machine. As you can see, it's not stripped on either side. This wire is not the reason why I purchased this machine. Okay, but I'll do a quick run here. This wire is actually very easy to strip just with a knife. All right, maybe scissors if you really want to, or a blade of some sort. But it's very easy to strip with a knife, but it's also very easy to strip with this. And now you pull it out the back side and you see it's pretty manageable length. Turn this off. Like I said, this wire right here is very easy to strip. You don't need a machine for it. This just makes it really easy. And as you can see, I'm doing this with one hand. You can see how the insulation just rips right off. And there you go. You have 3 pieces of wire. So the scrapyard right now pays the same exact price for this stuff as opposed to that whole sheet there. And I will go ahead and strip this wire as well. The one thing I would say with this, well, here's what we're going to do. We're actually going to go ahead and strip the remaining. I've noticed that with this machine is it likes to kind of flip the wire over. Alright, it doesn't like to stay. There's actually a blade in there that's pretty sharp. That blade right there is pretty sharp, but it likes to flip over the wire, and it goes against those side grooves. So that's wire with still insulation on it. Now the only con I would say with this device is you have to constantly adjust the length of the blade. So for something like this, for example, you can see the groove of where the blade actually struck the wire, but didn't puncture it. So it's actually very simple. You just have to turn the dial to lower it or raise it. But in terms of like the only con with this machine, I would say that would probably be it. If you get into the higher expensive, or the more expensive, I should say, not higher expensive, the more expensive machines, there might be multiple blades set on one device. And what I mean by that is there might be an actual, like you see how you have this one, there's one blade here. There might be 4 or 5 blades with different size holes. As you can see, there's 3 there. different size holes, so you can always, you don't have to ever take this off, you don't have to adjust this. Essentially with this piece is if you want to use smaller wire, you're supposed to take this off and then push it up like that or so. Maybe even have to flip this and then re-screw these things in. This is a little flimsy. Or if you have a very large wire, you're going to have to take off this whole bracket itself. With the more expensive machines, you might have 5 or 6 of these holes that go across, and you can just put, you know, any wire in at any time, because it'll be focused on, I don't know what you even want to call that, one axle maybe, or one rod, and when you turn it on, every single blade's going to spin. You just can choose whichever slot you want to put wire in. That's probably the only con with this, but that is with a cheaper machine, is you're going to get that. Now you'll see with this Romex wire, sometimes this isn't even insulated. Sometimes when you have Romex wire or house wire, this will just be free. Instead, this has this really thin insulation, almost like a paper insulation. And you rip that off. And now you have a little bit of bare bright wire. Alright, so that's not much. You know, obviously you're getting paid more money for this than you would, you know, if it had the insulation on it. But, you know, that's essentially what you do. And you do that a couple times. You'll see there's also a bunch of these as well. So you have 3 individual pieces of copper inside there. And then we'll go ahead and take off this. So the one thing with this is you're going to have to change the blade height, because it's fit for larger pieces of wire to go in there. Alright, so the main reason why I actually purchased this wire stripper is, I'm going to show you this. You guys might see all that copper right there. Show this side. You can see it has a pretty decent copper content. I mean, all that shiny stuff is all copper. You can see right there. It's a great shot. The insulation compared to the copper itself on the inside. Now, why I'm saying this is because there is some wire that is like this, which is a little bit more difficult to strip as opposed to Romex wire. And let's just say, for example, this is 90%. The weight on it is 90% copper and 10% insulation. If bare bright copper price is $3 a pound, oh, hold on. If bare bright copper price is $3 a pound, and this insulated wire, if you just took it as is, was $1 a pound, if you had 10 pounds of this, all right, and you brought it in just like this, you would get $10. Since it's 90% copper, though, if you stripped it, you'd end up with 9 pounds of wire rather than 10 pounds, because 1 pound would be the insulation. But if you got $3 a pound, you'd get $27. So just on 10 pounds alone, you'd make $17 more. And that's why I kind of bought this, is because I do come across a lot of this kind of wire. If you're in this business, it probably makes sense to strip some of this stuff. Also, it doesn't make sense to strip other stuff, but this kind of wire itself would pay a decent amount. So, you know, if you have 100 pounds, let's say, if you come across 100 pounds of this throughout the course of a year, you'll easily pay off the machine. So, kind of just keep that in mind if you're serious about buying one of these. Yeah, right. This should do it. Alright, I punctured it. Yeah, there we go. I'll lower it just a tad. There you go. You kind of hear it rip. Should be good. Now you can see it split right down the center there. Alright. So I believe this might be even number 2 wire, as it looks black, but that's still copper. You might be able to see, yeah, you can still see it's kind of like a orange color on the top. There you go. It's almost like it's burnt. what you'll see here is this came from all that one piece. Now this is all black up here. So if you really want, some yards will pay you bare bright for this, and most likely pay you number 1 or number 2 for that. Sorry for any wind noise as well. So if you really want, you can probably cut it maybe like right there. So that will be all bare bright copper, rather than taking this in as one whole piece and them just giving you number 1 for the whole thing. If you really want, you can probably cut it right there and they'll give you bare bright for this. Some scrap yards also pay you a different price for booster cable and jumper wire, if it's just the wire out, just because of, I believe, things like that, for example. So kind of cool. You can strip that whole thing. This is a lot more copper content than just one little piece of Romex. You can see the difference. So that's why I purchased this machine, is because I want to be able to strip wire like this. This other stuff, which is probably 1/10 the size, doesn't matter that much in comparison. But if I come across a lot of this wire, I know that machine can pay off in a matter of a week, 2 weeks, a month maybe. And if you're someone who might be an electrician, this is definitely a great machine for you. Alright, lastly, we do have some extra wire here. This is the Romex stuff that I did first, and it's the stuff that still had the insulation on it. Pretty simple. I just actually had to just adjust the blade, like every other time, but just run right through it. I've noticed with the smaller wire, sometimes you have to actually pull it through, like that. But still cuts it fairly nice. You'll see it's cut right there. Now this one has actually two casings on it. It has a plastic, like a clear plastic, and then it has another. So that's your, see that? And then it still has this black casing on top of it. You got, as you can see, 1, 2, 3. And one trick that I've noticed is if you can ever keep wire outside dry, it really makes this a lot easier. I'll show you. Because it just really does just peel right off. There you go. That's your insulation. And that's just your that's your clear bare bright copper. So beautiful. Alrighty, so thanks for watching for another fun video, a little bit different today. I know a lot of people have been requesting for a little bit more scrapping videos, and there was a very cool scrapping video with wire stripping and a wire stripper machine that's automatic. If you guys are really serious about buying one, for example, I would say look around, check out Amazon, check out eBay. Like I said, I bought on eBay for about $150. On Amazon, the same exact machine was $190. And about 3 years ago, this machine everywhere was about $350 to $400. So price has dropped dramatically, and copper prices are up. So if you're interested and you have lots of wire, if you don't want to use the old-fashioned knife trick or a nail trick, and you want to just use a wire stripping machine, so far so good with this one. If you guys enjoyed the video, hit the like button, subscribe down below for more scrapping videos, as well as treasure hunts in the future. Never know what we'll get into, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow for yet another adventure. Till tomorrow, have a great day. Keep living a dream. Peace.